Okay, hi everybody. Matt Geary for Geek Pride here on our D&D nights. Sorry we weren't here with you last week, but Mr. Allison had some tofu stuck in his gullet.
All right.
As you do. But yes, Mark currently indisposed, but should be jumping on shortly. So we're just going to carry on without him. So if you get a random person adding, that will be Mark. So, gentlemen. I think we left you off. You were in the Arrowhead Woods last time. You had just
reasoned with a bear.
Yeah, you'd reasoned with the bear. Stopped the bear from pretty much killing Byrand. And you I can't remember if you charmed it or you made it go to sleep or whatever you did, and he turned the bear turned into Aldar Starbreeze, who one of you will have to let me just see. One of you will have to control, actually. If you want him to join you in your quest. You don't have to have him with you, but it's up to you. He says to you that he would happily join your little group to try and figure out what's going on in the town if you want him to join you.
Aye, he could be useful, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Let me just make sure I've got his thing so you can all roll for him and stuff. I'll just double click on that. The character edit. Ben can do it. Pete, Daniel, and Mark. Okay. Save changes, right? So you can all do his roles and stuff. If needs be, I'll sort of be him if I need to sort of kind of throw you any sort of throw you a bone or whatever. Throw you a frickin' bone, man. Okay, so you are in the Arrowhead Woods. He's going to join you to try and sort of see what's going on. He obviously has some reason to sort of try and figure out why he was stuck as a bear, and who killed his men, etc. Why are you sneaking? Why?
I don't know.
Okay, well there you go. 9 piercing damage. So do you want to do anything else in the Arrowhead Woods? Obviously Starbreeze sort of says that there was a bandit camp and stuff in the area. That's where he's obviously had the battle with Byrand, and he's obviously it's up to yourselves.
I think we'd handed Byrand back to the asylum for safekeeping.
That was the plan. Yeah.
That was the plan. You haven't given him back yet.
I thought we had at the end of the...
You're still in the woods.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So we got to basically just put if found, please return to, and just drop him off the gate and knock and then run.
Well, what if we say, modern character, Athester, Aldar, how about you take this sickening traitor back to the asylum? Kijo, how about you and me go and check out that wee bandit camp?
Okay, so you don't know exactly where it is. You can...
Aldar, where the fuck's that?
You can you can do some investigation. It's up to yourselves. So you two are going to do some snooping around the woods to see if you can find anything, and the other 3 are going to take Byrand off to the asylum to the jail to sort of get him looked after.
It's not an order. I mean, whatever you think. Is that dangerous, you reckon, or reckon it's...
There is risks, to be honest.
Library might not be particularly action heavy. It might just be a lot of reading.
It is quite late as well, by the way. So you have you are at about sort of 7, 8 o'clock at night at this moment in time.
So, okay, so the library will be closed this time.
because you've done a fair bit today, haven't you? So this is effectively the one. This whole session's been in one day, effectively, bar the initial start, which was the day before. But and you've been to quite a few places, so it's probably about 7, 8 o'clock. It's still light-ish because it's summer, but it's getting late.
Well, if the library is going to be closed, then perhaps we can just go around the woods for a bit and see if we can find this bandit camp. And we'll be back in the inn with drinks before you know it.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. So do you want to roll me... would it be investigation or would it be survival if you're trying to find things in a wood?
Survival, but can we just ask Aldar?
Yeah. Oh, right, you can ask Aldar. Yeah, he sort of has a general sort of direction, but he's still a bit foggy from his sort of his transformation from bear to human being. He sort of gives you, and he's like, I'm pretty sure it's in this direction. He sort of points you into sort of towards the north slightly, towards like an outcropping of rocks.
Okay. Right.
Okay.
Shall we?
Yep.
Yep. Okay.
Okay. So, yeah, you know what? We'll just say you get there. So he pushes you out, and he's sort of like, I think it's over here, and you come to this sort of it's like a clearing, but it's got these big sort of massive rocks, and you're not sure if they were put there by man or if they're just a natural formation. But there are sort of like, there's like an old fire there. A few sort of like cups, like a discarded sort of rucksacks and broken weapons. It looks like it's being sort of disused.
Cool. Before we go, could we ask Dernian? Maybe Dernian could bring the traitor to the asylum. And
Yeah, good idea.
Okay. So Dernian is going to take himself off to the asylum, and he said he'll meet you outside the sort of the main sort of trackway in the to the woods.
I'm going to write Dernian over my other arm. Dernian. Don't forget Dernian. He's a bard.
Right. Cool. Yep. Okay. So
and we'll make sure that the guy is tied up as well, and completely secured, so we can't get like the best of him.
Okay. Fair dues. So. You've got this the encampment. Do you want to roll me investigation then, I guess?
Yes, please.
Okay, let's have a look around.
13 for Thesta. Cool. Mark's in. Dernian's here.
Oh, just when we got rid of him.
just when we turfed you off. 17 for Ben.
Well, you know. Fine.
Dernian, you're currently bringing Byrand to the Town Watch to place him over there. Things, if you disappear and you don't exist anymore, it's that's just the way it is. Blame these guys.
Story of my life.
we've got another character for you, so it's okay.
I'm worried now.
Okay, so.
I got 17.
You got a 17. Daniel, do you want to roll me, please?
Okay. Yep. So.
And does somebody want to roll for Sir fucking the Druid?
I can do that if you want.
Yep.
Oh, wrong page. Here we go. Investigation.
Okay, so
6. Bloody else, Aldar.
Well, he's just like, completely just, he's still thinking about, all the shit that's happened, and he's a bit sort of distracted. As for the rest of you, Bethesda's not really sort of picking up, but she's sort of more interested in sort of his sort of like this new thing he can do with his fire. He's kind of going, "Oh, look, ships." But Steelguard and Akiju, you notice like the fire, it hasn't, it's cold. You can sort of differentiate that it was something that happened in like a day ago, maybe sort of a day and a half ago, that they had the camp there. There's nothing of real interest around the campfire. You found some old discarded weapons, nothing that's really of the caliber that you have. You've got a backpack that's it's got a few bits and some rations, a bit of rope, some copper and stuff like that. Nothing of real sort of interest. But you do notice inside one of the sort of effectively inside one of these sort of like V-shaped rocks is an entrance to what you assume is potentially a cave.
Huh. Well, I'll take the rope and the copper and the rations.
Yep.
Yum, yum,
Is the cave man-made?
Do you want to roll me investigation?
Sure.
It's fireball made.
It can be if you want.
17. Yeah, you sort of you can see that there is sort of like pickaxe sort of grooves in it and stuff, so you can see tool marks in it. There is though something else within it. It looks like it's been expanded slightly. So there, one side of it has what looks more naturally sort of occurring, and then the other side looks like it's being sort of kind of whittled out a bit more using tools.
Ah. Aldar, do you know about this? Sorry, Aldar, what's this cave?
He's like, he just says to you, it's just like, I don't know. It could be a part of the mining system that was underneath. This used to be a mining colony, back in very many moons ago. So I guess it could be a miner's shaft, but I couldn't tell you. I wasn't sort of looking around the place when I was set upon by the bandits.
Well, lads, looks like we're going into the mines.
Sounds good to me.
Kijo, you're pretty fast, aren't you?
Yes.
Could you catch up with Danial and bring him back here? I think you could use all the help we can get.
Okay.
I'm going to check your arm just to make sure. Yeah, my name is still on there.
Kijo. Daniel.
Oh, I forgot about my music.
Run. Yeah.
Okay. So you sort of run off. You guys stay put.
Gonna have some rations.
Durnian has probably got sort of to the Town Watch by now. By the time you've caught up with him, he's at the Town Watch. He's sort of trying to persuade the sort of guard there that we did sort of run away with. We did run away with this guy.
We've dumped this on Daniel. We've dumped the excuse on Daniel.
Well, I'm the one who
you gotta
usually
sort this out.
out.
So he's sitting there kind of, the guards is just like, why did you run off the guy? He's asking a million questions. Durnian's just sitting there trying to, come up with some bullshit story to make things sort of like, he's just like, it's okay though, you can have him back. And he's just like, and you sort of persuade them that, did you roll persuasion?
I did try that just for fun, just to see how it went. Great. Not one of my better rolls.
You just sort of, the guard at the front, he's just like, all right, okay, so, you're not talking to the guys, and you're talking to one of the main guards you saw before, and he's just like, okay, well, I'll take him then, and he sort of leaves him in to the thing. Byrand's just sitting there swearing and cussing and generally being unpleasant. He says, you're gonna be the death of me. You're gonna be the death of us. I could help you. You could be the death of us. We should leave. And he's ranting all kinds of things as he gets sort of clouded around the head by the guard and trailed off into the jail.
Medicinal clown.
Medicinal clown.
Just friendly,
Okay, so you make your way back. And to the woods. Nothing untoward happens on your way back. It's just a nice leisurely walk. And you make your way back to the clearing of the woods. It's now about sort of like 8:30 in the evening.
We're just sitting there around this old cold fire, eating rations.
Yeah. So, are you going in? You're all going into this cave then?
Yeah.
Well, excellent. No convincing required.
Cool. All right. So you go in. Most of you have dark sight, so you're not really need it. Thesta just lights a sort of like a fireball in his hand, and sort of he's good to go. So you all go in, and you notice that it's quite a long tunnel, but it takes you into this big. There's like this big sort of like pit. And it looks like it's got sort of a wooden ladder going down into it.
I'll go first, I guess. Does it look dwarven made to me?
You look at it and you don't think so. It's a bit more. It's a bit sort of. It's not as what's the word? Carefully crafted as a dwarven sort of shop. It's literally it's like it's circular, and it's about the size of maybe two men, 3 men width-wise, and it's quite deep, and there's a ladder in it. Yeah.
I'm going to criticize everything about this. Look at this here. This has not been mined properly at all. It's falling off the walls. There's no supports there. This is caving in a minute. This is ridiculous.
I don't know. It seems pretty stable.
So who's going? Who's going down first? What's happening?
Should we try dropping like a pebble or like dropping one of the flaming torches down the pit?
Yes.
Okay. You drop a flaming torch down the pit, effectively, and it goes down for a fair bit, but you see it sort of lying at the bottom. It's sort of further away, but you can see it lying at the bottom. There's no water. It's just rocky bottom.
Well, there's a bottom. That's always good.
Okay. So you climb down. Who's going first?
I don't mind going first.
Okay.
Yep. Send the dwarf.
So
send the tank.
So Steelguard sort of gets down the ladder, when he's tutting and moaning the whole way down about this sort of, this is how horribly bad the craftsmanship in this sort of mine is and stuff. And
Shouting like, look how rough these walls are.
Yeah.
No pride. No pride in the work.
Nothing. No inscriptions. Nothing. He's just like, oh, what is this? So he's sort of going down, and you get to the bottom. And you sort of, you can see Darksight, but Athesta sort of illuminates the area slightly more, and you basically see tunnels. You're in this quite a big sort of cavern, but you see tunnels jutting off into every which way. There's easily sort of 6 or 7, maybe more tunnels surrounding you in all directions.
As a, I assume you're experienced in building mine shafts and everything.
Yep.
Steelguard. Is this a typical, construction technique of building off in in multiple tunnels from the same hub?
Do you want to roll me investigate? Oh, is it going to be history? Well, what would it be? Would it be history because you're sort of kind of harking back to your knowledge of it, or?
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds.
Roll me a history then. Roll me a history then. 6.
Yeah.
And he's just like, he's still annoyed by the fact that this whole thing is just like, it's a shambles. He's just like, no, this isn't, a mining thing. This is something different. And he's just sort of, he's not really interested in the layout of it and stuff. He's just, he doesn't know.
Just incensed.
Yeah, incensed by the thing. Okay, so you've literally got, you have passages sort of to the, you've got ones to the west, to the east, to the north. You've effectively got throughout, there is a tunnel in every which way you want to go.
Is there a breeze coming from any of the tunnels at all?
Any sign of any recent passing, like dust just being disturbed, tracking?
Footprints.
Yeah, do you want to roll me
Exactly.
roll me investigation?
Can I roll as well?
Yeah, you can all roll.
Hey, 4.
25.
Kiju,
Boom.
that's the Kiju, obviously the scout. He sort of notices that there are footprints, and quite a lot of footprints. Some of them are what you would assume are sort of human. You see a few sort of like what looks like paw prints in the dirt and stuff, but they again, everything sort of the human ones and the paw prints are going off in different directions.
Do you bring our attention to these footprints?
Yeah, and I'm guessing that this is like, are the paw prints about the size of a bear? To match the story of the bear?
No, it's what's his name? I can't even remember the name of the bloody druid. It's not like I made him.
Druid.
Aldar.
Aldar, yeah.
Aldar.
Aldar is like I didn't come down here, so they're not mine. And I wasn't, and it was pretty hard for a bear to sort of climb down a ladder and stuff, and
Or any animal.
yeah. So he's just like, there is paw prints, sort of like they're about human foot size, maybe slightly smaller. And there are sort of other footprints around, but they are going off into other directions. Also, when you are looking around, Keiju, you notice sort of like this. You notice something on the ground, and it's like a scale, but it's a scale that is kind of like translucent. It's kind of a whitey hue to it, and it's quite big.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna definitely pick that up. Just, any idea what the hell this comes from?
So if you want to roll, Nate? No, it's not gonna be Nate. What is it gonna be?
Arcana?
No, because it's. I'm trying to think. If you're trying to figure out what it's come from.
Oh, nature.
Nature.
It's an
Nature,
animal.
yeah.
Yeah.
21.
Yeah, Keijo and Athesta and Steelguard, you sort of go. You're pretty sure, having fought them before, you're like, this looks like a Hydra scale, but it's it shouldn't be that color, and it seems a bit more sort of. There's something different. The texture is slightly different from what you would sort of assume, having killed Hydras and stuff before. There's something slightly different.
Thinking of Hydra, does that spark a memory of what we saw in the woods, or is that memory still?
No, you're still pretty hazy about most things.
Hold on, there's a picture. Kiyo's got a picture.
Yeah, I drew it.
Does that picture have scales?
How? Okay. What did you draw? What did you write down? What did you draw? Did you draw like a neck or something?
Yeah, what you told me was monster serpent, long neck, true silence, face missing.
Yeah, I think it was like a serpent's neck with a missing face.
Yeah, image recording serpent, hydra.
You do look.
Someone mentioned hydra.
As far as
long neck.
Yeah, you sort of kind of go, well, you guess that could have come off the neck. If it's a Hydra, then, that's kind of where one of the scales would be.
Which tunnel was that in?
That was sort of to the one just on your right-hand side. So going to sorry, not on the right-hand side. It was the one going sort of straight ahead, sort of like a northerly direction.
Could I tell what caused the changes to this scale?
You can roll me because you've done nature, so to try and figure out what it is.
Arcana?
You can roll Arcana if you want.
Yes, please.
Yeah. You're just like yeah.
Fireball.
Yeah, it's
Fire-
it's
Fireball.
white. It's white. That's the difference.
Right.
It's
Like
white. It's
white
different.
meat.
It's basically translucent and it's got a bit of white on it. And you're like, everybody's like, Steelguard's like, yeah, right, mate, nice one.
It's annoyingly unburnt.
Annoyingly unburnt. So yeah,
Well,
it was sort of near the one in the north.
we found our tunnel then. Let's go, lads.
Okay.
Kijo up ahead. Keep an eye out, looking for traps. I'll go along second. Athesta, take the back, get fireball ready. And Danian, you just keep your eyes peeled, lad.
Okay.
Kijo's eyes just go a little bit wide at fireball. It's just sort of like, I'm at the front.
Right.
I want you to remember that. It's me.
He's the rear guard. Keep your eyes back there.
Okay.
He's going to be the front guard by the end of it.
He's the only guard.
You sort of
say duck.
You go along this tunnel, and you start noticing it's quite long, and you start seeing other tunnels that are shooting off into other directions. The tunnel going north still goes north, but there are other ones now that veer off to the west, to the east. Some kind of going to the south, the southeast.
Any sign of which way it went, Kijo?
Not as far as I'm aware. I think it's still, because I'm just following, I'd imagine, the paw prints, if that's what we're specifically following.
Yeah, so basically it goes on, and the paw prints are still going, but you see some going in both ways, both directions, so they're it's obviously being used. And you sort of notice that it's relatively recent as well, so there has been people walking up, or something with paw prints walking up and down this thing. But again, all the other ones have similar-ish tracks going in those directions as well.
These paw prints, are they like mammal paw prints, like a bear or wolf, or are they like reptile?
Do you want to roll me? Let me see. What would it be? Would it be nature again, or history, if you're trying to figure out what these are? Survival?
If you're trying to discern the particular animal that it comes from, or get like an idea of the animal, I think nature. If you're trying to follow them, maybe survival. But to actually look at it,
okay,
what animals that from?
Roll me nature, then.
By the way,
All of us.
what are you specifically going to do, by the way? Sorry?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm like getting on all fours, looking at this paw print and going, what kind of creature made this? Could it be a serpent, long-necked, no-face thing? Or is it just like a wolf or some kind of, forest creature?
Okay.
13.
Can I just say that you've rolled, but
Oh, sorry, man. Oh, shit.
No. I was going to let Aldar just sort of like tap you on the shoulder and give you guidance, which gives you a...
Well, Aldar can do it himself,
Yeah, he can.
if I can't tell.
You need to roll for Aldar as well. Somebody needs to be on roll for him as well.
Okay.
I've got him up, but if anyone else wants to do it, they can do.
So Athesta's pretty much going, their paw prints. There you go. Aldar,
+2. Okay. Because that's what guidance does. It gives you a D4 to any ability check.
okay,
Nice.
so
24.
So
Aldar goes, those are Knoll footprints.
Knolls.
Knolls.
Okay.
No.
Knolls are effectively hyena look like humanoids beasts.
Regular knolls,
Wow.
What do they want? What is their primary motivation?
Hunger. I'd
Eating
imagine.
folk. I
Yeah,
guess.
they're like they can be mercenaries. They're generally sort of, they could be part of the corruption's sort of vanguard. But there are footprints, and they are Knoll footprints.
Well, either way, we can't allow a Knoll conclave so close to the town.
Yeah.
Weapons free, lads.
Okay, so I need you to roll. Basically, I need to roll something to see if you get lost or not, because
Survival?
Survival.
So I
Yeah.
need you to roll survival then.
Well, we're gonna follow Kijo.
Yeah.
And I'd like, and I'd,
Well, maybe
and I-
maybe
and I'd
Danny
like
is not.
Aldar to give me guidance on this.
Because you don't have a map or anything. You're literally just going in each direction. So you've
Yeah. Well, guidance is quite literally the cantrip he's got.
cool. Okay. Yep.
It's
Oh, Kijo.
is it? Yeah, it's 11.
Yeah. Anybody else rolling?
Oh no.
I'm following Kijo. I'm not even trying. I'm just like, this guy knows where he's going. And there's the
Yeah.
druid here. There's him between them. Of course, they know where they're going.
Okay, you you get your way through the winding tunnels. You sort of go in the direction that you think you're going. So you're thinking, we're going in sort of a northerly direction, and you come to a sort of another ladder that leads up.
Okay.
Okay. I guess we're going up there.
Yep.
You climb up the ladder and you open up this sort of like little hatch thing, and you seem to be behind what is like a bookcase, and you sort of like push it to the side, and you're back in the Pig and Harp.
What?
What?
Let me just try and get the this thing here.
Hold the phone.
So you are. It doesn't show. Actually, it might show better in the night one because it is night. We'll do that one instead. You are. Let me draw you a thing. You're here.
All right. Yeah.
So you didn't investigate this room,
Okay.
and so you've basically come out of. There's a bookcase here, and you've come out into this effectively like dining room / conference room, and yeah, you're in the bar again.
With an emergency hidey hole or exit hole.
Is it me, lads? Would this be an excellent way of getting some bodies out of this tavern without anyone noticing?
Pretty much.
Specifically, our misremembered friend and the wife of the barkeep. What's in this room?
It's sort of like it's got like a big table. There's there's a little chest in the corner. There's some books. It's like a dining table. You assume it sort of can also be used like as a conferencing type room if you got like special guests in the town at the time. But nothing overly special.
All right, boys, quiet as you like. Let's have a look around. These, yeah. So, are we thinking that this barman has a link to the bandits? He's got a way to a knoll den and to the bandit camp.
I'd just like to ask him why this exists and then gauge his reaction.
Who are you talking to? Sorry.
And we're talking to each other.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, let's have a wee look in that chest over there first. Maybe see if there's anything on the table that's incriminating. Get the evidence together.
Okay. Roll me investigation then.
Investigating. 2.
Yep. You suck.
2 again.
So far, the chest is open and there's nothing really in there. You're not really noticing anything of any major interest that you can see in that room.
All right. Well, shall we? I'm thinking if we interrogate the barman now, we might not be able to have a drink and then use the rooms upstairs. So how about we just have a bit of a rest, and then in the morning perhaps we can give them the old 1-2.
Okay.
Okay.
So you come out of the room, and the innkeeper is sort of like milling around. It's effectively a Monday night. He's not sort of super busy, but he's very surprised to see you appear from the back room, as he was pretty sure you didn't come in, and he's just like, oh, where did you boys come from?
We came in a while ago. Come on, man.
Yeah. Do you want to roll me persuasion?
Oh my god.
I rolled deception.
Deception, yeah. Roll me deception.
16.
Yeah. So he's just like, oh, I guess I must have been sort of, my head's not been with it recently. I'm having some bad dreams, and I'm obviously not with it. So yeah, sorry, boys. Are you staying the night?
Oh yes.
Aye.
Of course we are.
Okay.
It seems that you're forgetting a lot these days. You're okay. Maybe if you tell me about your dreams, I could maybe help you. I'm actually a dream reader in the Dwarven tribe.
He's just like, no, I don't want to bother you with my dreams.
It's no bother at all, Wheeler. I used to read all the dreams of my tribe, and I used to be able to find out what was bothering them from what's in their dreams.
I just take a look at the two mystic people that look actually mystic. Just sort of give them a once over and go, yeah.
The armored dwarfs going, yeah.
This guy.
This is an ancient dwarven tradition. He is honor bound to provide his assistances to all those who need it, and therefore it is incumbent upon you to tell this dwarf exactly what your dreams are, and he will divine.
His name is literally Starbreeze.
Yeah, Aldar's just sitting there looking at you, going, "What?" He's sort of looking at everybody, going, "What the fuck?" He's just kind of going with it, but yeah, but he's just like he seems quite uncomfortable with telling you about these dreams and stuff. He's just like, I don't want to tell you. It's my own business.
No problem. But what I do recommend is just writing a wee dream journal. Just write in the journal when you wake up in the morning. Just write in your journal what you've seen in your dream, and then just leave it by your bed.
He sort of nods his head, and he's like, "Oh, okay."
Do I have a blank journal and a pen on me? Do I have like a blank like?
Yeah, there's sort of you got some paper and stuff from the other room, and you sort of.
I give him the paper. I give him a little bit of charcoal or whatever, and say, put it in his hand. There you go. This is Dwarven dream paper. you know your dreams on there in the morning. You'll feel a lot better.
Okay.
Close his hand around it. Just really like going for it, leading into the lie. You write him. Dwarven dream. Hey.
Okay.
You give a dwarven blessing as well.
Yeah, I'll say some rubbish in Dwarven. Oh, you've got long hair and a big nose, and your eyes don't match. That's just some Dwarven.
Okay, so he's just like, well, yeah, thank you. Yeah, you know, more than welcome to have a few drinks if you want. The rooms, it's the same room as last time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
So what are you doing now then? Are you just going straight up to bed? It's probably about, I'd say it's probably about 10. The time you come in the tunnel, it's probably about 10 o'clock at night. 10.
That all depends who's on stage right now.
Look, yeah.
Is it my boy? Is my boy on stage?
Periwinkle is not there.
Son of a bitch.
Is the library closed?
We've got his autograph, and we're just like, for fuck's sake! Well, we're never gonna forget him. Just.
I turn to Danial and say, "This tavern looks woefully bereft of music, Danial. You fancy giving him some of your lyrics? Do you fancy playing on the stage, lad?"
So you gonna play, Danial?
I guess I'd better give it a go, hadn't I?
You don't have to.
There's nothing better than peer pressure.
Okay, so Durnian sort of gets on the stage. There's a couple of people having a few drinks, and he breaks out his lute.
We'll cheer. Oh yeah.
Starts playing away. You know. There's a bit of Yaz flute going on, and I sort of enjoyed it. I like.
This is your speciality.
People are enjoying it. And literally from what looks like probably it's like from outside, from the side of the door comes flying in, and there's Periwinkle. My mates, my mates, my mates, and he's just like, yeah, and he starts like breaking out his lute as well and starts playing along with you. But you notice as soon as he starts playing with you, it's like that fog starts to lift once again. I want you to roll perception.
Fog. Reminds us of the fog again, please.
So basically, you've got
Not
this thing.
performance. Sorry.
I'll let everybody roll, and I'll.
Critical fail.
Oh.
Perception 17.
That Steelguard is just so happy to see Periwinkle that he just doesn't give a shit. He's just
Into it, man.
He's rocking out and just going for it. He's already ordered the beers from the
20 beers, please.
The rest of us drinking.
Let's see what has everybody rolled here. So Athesta, what did Aldar roll?
I did. That other 15 is meant to be Aldar's.
Okay.
Because I rolled on his character, but it says as, and I still had it as Kijo.
Okay, right.
So I'll have to change it.
Okay.
But yeah, that 15 is also Aldar's.
Okay, so Athesta, you sort of notice again, like you seem to be quite in tune with this, but you start to notice again that feeling of there was a silence that has now been broken, and it's not the music, it's something else. And you see again another sort of like a hole, but it's sort of coming from the ceiling, not ceiling, okay. From the it's coming from like the ground near the stage, and then you sort of see like it sort of dissipate again. So it's like as soon as it's sort of there, it sort of dissipates again.
Could I grab the mirror?
Actually, to be honest, I'm just trying to think. How long are you playing for?
Me.
I would say 5 minutes, right? So within this, you've got like 5 minutes. Say a song will take about a few minutes. So it's more sort of vivid than it has been before. It's like the music, the two sets of music has sort of disrupted something, and you can see a hole beside the stage.
Okay, grab the mirror. The ornate mirror, and see if you can do anything with that. And whilst I'm also going to start thinking about all the mystical elements I've seen and what's caused this and what's caused this disruption.
Right. So are you just doing this yourself? You're just basically sort of grabbing the mirror off Kijo?
I think basically Estella is really focused on this. He wants to get this, really dedicating his time to this. Give me that. No, come on. Give me. I've got something to do. Come on.
I'm enjoying the music. What are you doing?
Okay, so you get the mirror. Roll me.
Jive, man.
Roll me perception then.
That's what a fail is, isn't it?
20. Oh. You see in the, and where are you pointing the mirror by? Are you pointing at the hole? Are you just looking into it? How are you sort of doing it?
Trying to look at the mirror. So I look at the hole through the mirror.
Right, okay. So you look at the hole through the mirror and you see the hole. You see the hole through the mirror. Just as you're looking at it, the music stops, but you can still see the hole in the mirror. Whereas the reality of it, when you look down, it disappears. But the mirror, as you look at the mirror, it's still there.
I just yell across the entire room, Eureka!
What?
Come and look at this, guys.
Okay, so let me just do the again. So you're looking at the mirror, And
I've got it hold completely still.
You can see it.
Budging for an instant.
You can see it. The rest of them can't.
Look, can't you see it? Look, there's a hole.
They roll me perception. All you when you're looking at the mirror, roll me perception.
Look where I'm looking, and look at where that is. You can see a hole, but it's not there. But the hole is there. But you don't look through the mirror, then it's not there. See, it's simple.
Does somebody run a roll for Aldar? Yeah, Aldar. Oh yeah. Kijo sees the hole. Aldar is sort of struggling, but he's like, he thinks he sees something, but he's not 100% sure on it. But Kijo definitely, he's just like, I can see it.
Okay, I'm gonna take one of the sort of like stools from nearby, and just sort of like, as if sort of like to everyone else, just placing it over and just putting it where the hole is.
Okay, so you push the chair over, and it's like this odd thing happens. It's like you see it, and Thesta sees it, and to a point, Aldar sees it fall away and into the hole, whereas Steelguard and Durnian just sort of see a chair vanish.
What was that?
Right. Okay, we cracked it. Can we still remember the chair, or are we forgetting about the chair?
No, you see, you know the chair's there.
Right. Okay. I'm wondering if these holes are what's called memory loss. Basically, people kind of fall through these holes, and the fabric of reality
it's quite a big hole,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Maybe it's whatever's causing it is causing these holes.
Exactly.
So, holes around here somewhere. Lads, how do you fancy a late night trip down a disappearing hole? Get the rope out of my bag.
Spelunking it is then.
Hey, let's do it.
Right, I know. Okay, if we're going to do this, we secure that rope to something that will not shift. So basically, I know I'm going to put a warding on the ropes. If anyone touches that rope except us, they get detonated.
Okay.
No, I
And
think
then
that's a little bit.
No,
you're gonna have some.
definitely going to touch the rope.
Yeah,
Oh, what's the rope doing here?
you're in a pub. Bear in mind, right, man, the bar's just opened recently, and there was cop cars out there at 1 o'clock. Right, drunk people do not make good decisions.
Okay, what if we
Seen that this weekend.
let's ask
Yeah.
Aldar to stand here. Aldar, you sit. We put the rope, maybe tie it to a table or something, or something.
No,
big and
technically
heavy.
more
Aldar
secure
sits
than the
here.
table.
Just bear in
yeah.
mind,
beams.
Steelguard and Durnian are like, I don't see anything, so you're very sort of like, how are we getting down this hole?
Well, it's easy. I'm going to ask him if he can just hold onto this rope and just stand over there.
Yep. Properly, like, yep. Put it round like something that's solid, like a pillar or something.
We've got possibly the heaviest member of the party who's going to go down like a stone. Whatever's attached to him is going to go flying.
Oh, am I going down?
Support beams.
Yes. I've asked you to stand there.
Oh shit! I thought I was holding the rope for you. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, you'll tie the rope onto me or something.
Yeah, tie the rope onto you, and tie the other bit
what am I
around the.
Why am I doing this? What's going on? Okay.
Thesta,
Just walk over there. Just walk over there.
Okay, I'll walk over there, but I don't see how this can help anything.
Keep going. Keep going.
You sort of notice that he's walking in the direction of where the hole is, but he keeps on sort of walking around it. In his mind, he's on where you've told him to be, but he keeps on sort of walking around that hole.
I guide you. We guide you.
Yeah, we're going to guide.
Push me into the hole.
So you literally push him.
Right a bit.
Go left.
Where's this?
I'll let him. I'll go.
Where's this tied to, by the way?
A support beam.
What support beam?
A support beam.
We're all just sort of like looking at the stray rope as it's.
Okay, you tie it so sort of like one of the there's on that sort of holds up like the stage and stuff.
Yeah. Perfect.
And the dwarf disappears down the hole. And
What
it's
the
like, fuck. So he's like down this hole, and you hear this sort of shout. It's like, "You fucking bastards! What the fuck is going on?"
You've fallen down the hole. Are you okay?
Am I okay? Am I at the bottom or am I dangling?
Yeah, you're sort of like dangling because they've got you sort of held tight. You're not too far off the bottom, so you ask them to sort of let the rope out a bit.
Lower me down a bit, lads. Lower me down.
What can you see? Is it safe?
What can I see?
You see. It's a similar thing to what you've seen in the forest. It's literally like another sort of like opening that takes you in a tunnel. It seems to go sort of in the direction of where the other tunnels came from. So the tunnel that took you up into the inn, it's sort of going off in that direction.
Esther, how did you find this hole? Like,
I'm wise in the mystic arts.
Hand wave him.
helpful.
I shout up, lads, you can pull me up. It's just those tunnels we saw earlier.
So he pulls you up, and now as it's like part of the sort of it's not fully lifted. You're still a bit sort of like you're fighting with your own mind. It's like I said, like it's like a waking dream in that, you know, when you wake, if you've ever sleptwalked or something like that, you feel like it's real, but you're fighting with yourself, and it's the same thing. It's just like, for all intents and purposes, you shouldn't have gone down this sort of. It's floor there. Why would you have disappeared? But you know you have, and therefore it seems to be sort of lifting your I call it the fog, but you know whatever's happening in your mind, you're starting to question it a bit more.
You're not distracted anymore.
You're not as distracted about it, but you know it's still there. You're not seeing it fully, but you're starting to be a bit more aware.
Yeah. Part of me thinks there's no way I could have done a hole there, but I know I did.
Yeah,
up there. Couldn't have done. No hole there.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna have a pint of beer ready for you when you come up.
Oh, I'll need it.
Right. So you climb up the rope, and you know, Pennywise. Hey, Georgie.
Oh.
Hey, Georgie. You know, everybody floats down here, Georgie.
Wouldn't
Perry
be fucking surprised.
Periwinkle's just sort of like, "My mate, you fucking disappeared, my mate. What the fuck was that?" It's like, oh, and he's just like slaps you on the back, and he's just like, "Let's have some beers. Let's get fucking pissed."
Perry, I'm sorry. I might have to give a bit of a rain check tonight. Me and the boys, I think we got something to discuss in our rooms. But you know, have one for me, lad.
I will. And he sort of goes off. He goes off with the bar lady. Sort of slaps her in the bum and sort of like gets a beer and.
That's not cool, Perry. That's not cool.
It's just like
everyone just go,
rock and roll business, my mate. Rock and roll business.
Hey, she's a person, Perry. She's a person.
So yeah, so he's going up to bed now. He's gonna.
Well, I think we should. Well, it's up to you guys, but maybe we should have a chat.
Yep.
Yeah.
What we've seen today.
We'll adjourn.
So you take yourself
You
take some seats and stuff. You get a few beers. Periwinkle's chatting up the sort of serving wench, yeah. So what do you want to talk about?
Okay. Well, I'd rather do it in the room, just because we're gonna like talk about like weird shit. I'd rather not have some NPC coming over and be like, "Oh, what's this? You're crazy. Get out of town."
Yeah.
Go to our room.
Okay, yep. So you take yourselves off to the room. Sorry, it's the same room as you had the night before. You pull over sort of like a little desk. There's a few chairs in there, and you have your little powwow.
All right, lads. Theories. Anyone got anyone?
You have to be careful, Kiju, bearing in mind the burden of knowledge.
Yeah.
There's something going through here, causing these holes to appear, which is in turn causing the memory loss.
We'll take out the picture of the thing we saw in the woods as well. Just take out all the notes that the Kijo's made and all the pictures and the diary of that missing soldier. Just all the evidence and clues, and just pop it in the middle to look at it.
Okay. Do I know of any arcane elements Matt, that would cause such an incident like this to happen?
You've I think you previously sort of did a history check, and you sort of were like, "There's something about this," if you want to actually
hit the books.
roll me Aldar's. Let me roll his. It's going to be history. Roll me history for Aldar.
Who? Okay.
Aldar. Yeah.
Okay.
Nine. No, Aldar's like, yeah, it doesn't sort of, he's not 100% sure, it doesn't ring a bell, but you sort of, it's something rings a bell with you.
Yeah.
And
I need to kind of hit the books.
Yeah, you basically need to sort of you figure something out that's why you were talking about the library.
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
So
What we can know for certain is that these holes are appearing in the fabric of reality.
But the question is, are they reappearing, or is it just we're not seeing them? Because when Aldar we were trying to put Aldar down the hole, you said he was walking around it.
That was me.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, unless you are directly aware of it, it will not register with you.
Yeah.
And basically, your mind will actually take pains to actually avoid it at all cost. We still go when he walked towards it. He just subconsciously walked around it rather than going over it. So it sounds like there's some force here that is causing people to mentally obfuscate it. So now, but if we become directly aware of it, such as I did, then that obfuscation has vanished. That mental fog is lifted, and we can directly. But it has to. But when.
I was going to say, Aldar basically says, I'm pretty sure I could see something when I was in my bear form. It's all a haze now. But what have you've obviously seen things like I've seen things. When have you seen them? What instances have you sort of? He's sort of saying what instances have you sort of seen? Who else has seen these things? And maybe we can pull it together.
Well, the first one I believe was down in the cellar of this inn.
Yeah.
A bloody scene that I saw.
Hang on a second. Where that hole appeared next to the stairs, does that correspond to the hole that we saw in the cellar? Were they directly above and below each other?
Not those ones, because the cellar's sort of off. Actually,
right.
It could be, because the cellar's quite a deep sort of thing, so it could be a hole that goes into the cellar, but it also goes towards the tunnels that you've already been into.
Yeah.
Good thinking.
Okay, so actually, we know we effectively know what's happening. What we need to find out is why this is happening here and now. And if we can fireball it.
I put my finger on the picture of the strange
and I pull out
creature
the scale and just go, well, this would definitely. Okay. I'd say next time either of us, anyone sees anything like that, I point at the.
Fireball it. Gotcha.
Yeah. Point and fireball. Point and yell fireball. Or if you're capable of fireball.
And then yell fireball.
So you've got all your pieces of paper. Aldar, because he's quite nude and stuff, he's just like, why you seem to be quite obsessed with this mirror? What is the deal with this mirror?
It's an uncommon item that was found with a guardsman. It's not the sort of item you would find with a typical military camp or bandit camp.
But I don't understand why you keep on looking at it, and why you were pointing at the hole.
Well, basically, we could see the hole was still there through the mirror, but when we looked at it, looked at the hole directly, it wasn't.
Right. So he's just like, the mirror must have an effect The mirror must have an effect then, surely.
Or it's been affected by something.
Or it naturally lifts the mental fog that surrounds these holes.
What if
And
it's just any mirror? I mean, you've said yourself, Bethesda, there's nothing strange about that.
Okay. Is any of the mirrors around here?
You've got a big mirror in your room, yeah.
Okay. Still grab that mirror. Come on,
Oh,
go
right.
back down the stairs.
Oh, right, okay, here we go.
Right.
Go on.
Pop it off the wall.
So basically you've got like your room has a couple of windows that sort of face out into the city. You've got like the door. How are you looking at it? It's like a long mirror.
I know, we're taking it.
We're going back down to the bar room. I'm going to look and see with the hand mirror as well. Look for that same hole. Identify that it's still there using the hand mirror, and then repeat the same experiment using the wall mirror as well.
Okay, all right. Yep. So you all sort of like pile downstairs. It's dead. There's everybody's gone to bed.
Keeping an eye out for the innkeeper because
It's science.
Yeah, he's. I think he's off in bed and stuff. You're not sort of making that much noise. You haven't had any drinks. You're not going to be anything. So you take it off, and I want you all to into. So you point the mirror, sort of looking, sort of point it down towards the hole, and I want you to roll perception.
Given that I know what I'm looking for, does that give me an advantage?
Yes, I'll give you advantage.
Good.
Okay,
17.
So you got 17 then, Athesta?
Yeah.
Kijo and Athesta, they still see the hole.
Right, okay, right. Using the wall mirror, can we do that can we do the same thing using the wall mirror?
Yeah, do the same thing. Oh, somebody needs to roll for Aldar as well, by the way.
As Aldar's.
Yeah, so he can see it as well. And so can Darnian, sorry.
Can they see it through the wall mirror?
They can see it through the wall mirror, yeah.
Son of a bitch.
Okay. So any mirror.
You haven't rolled for you've rolled for the hand mirror. Do you want to roll for the big mirror as well?
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, sure.
No, I'm good. I'm alright. I'll just take that word.
Yeah, so it's there.
So, okay, this is an effect that can be bypassed using mirrors. Okay.
To a point, it's like you have to really concentrate.
Yeah.
Okay, let's have a look out over the... Okay, right. Still good. Back upstairs. We're going to try another experiment.
I'll be the mirror holder. You guys
Thank you
can
very
look
much,
at it.
sir. Right, we're going to go upstairs and look through the window using the mirror. Using the big mirror.
Okay.
Well, as we walk up, we should look in it as well and see if we can see anything on the way up as well.
Okay, so you move into the next room. Do you want to roll me perception then?
I won't roll because I'm holding it sort of like reflective surface out.
Darnian.
Nice.
Athesta, yes, because I think you're already sort of clued into it.
Yeah, I know what I'm looking for.
Yeah. So Kijo, somebody. Well, it doesn't matter for the rest of us. So you basically see, it's like that room is. It's like half of the roof is missing. Like there's just like something has come up, and there's another big hole that's come up from where the cellar is, and there's like half of the roof is gone. And you also see sort of like when you're looking through the roof, you see this big long neck jutting out over out of the town, and you see like it's like a head, but it's got like dark like a skull, so it's dark deep eyes, kind of looks human in a way. What?
Fireballed it.
Are you actually? Are you going to throw that fireball?
Yes, that's what we agreed.
Briefing. Yeah, that was
brief.
That thing has to make a dex save now, whatever the fuck it is.
Oh no! Oh no.
We did warn you. We did warn you that we were blowing on the instruction that the next time anyone sees a long-necked monster thing, fireball or yell fireball.
Yeah, that was
To be
it.
fair,
Right.
anytime I see
Okay, because this is very likely to kill all of you at this moment in time.
We lulled him into a full sense of security by being careful.
Yeah. I'm going to give you a chance to try and somebody to push Athesta out of the way, because if you launch this at this head and it hits him, yeah.
So I'll give it a try, shall I?
Yeah.
What am I rolling?
So let me just sort of get this right. So who would let's see. All right, okay. I was not expecting that.
We literally laid out for
No.
It's a monster. It's a monster. Let's get it.
No, but you basically had this whole fireball thing as a joke. I didn't actually think you were going to hit this fucking thing. One, not knowing what it is, and two, not knowing how powerful it is, and three, sort of, so you've just shot a fireball at it.
yes.
Hells yes.
Right. Okay. So, I will let Aldar and Durnian. I will give you a chance to try and basically deflect him out of the way.
I think maybe Aldar's the best, because I think we're all on the same page in regards to fire.
We see the monster with fireball.
There's a
we don't
monster.
know what's going on.
There's fireball.
The thing is, I'm not 100% sure if Athesta would have done it anyway, simply because he isn't 100% sure what it is. He's got something in the back of his mind, so I'm not unsure why he would just suddenly set fire to something.
Essentially, it's causing these holes to appear. People are forgetting, and basically to stop it from happening again. So basically, it's fireball.
There was blood. It's killed people. I mean, maybe if it was immense, maybe if it was like horrifying and terrifyingly immense.
No, we're talking like the neck is the size of like half the room you're in, and it's it's massive. It's like towering over. Over the.
Well, that just means it's got disadvantage on its dex check.
It's like and it's not just there's not just one of them. They're like over the city, looming over it, like looking.
Shit. How many of them are there? How many of them are there?
We're not going to, because you just showed a fireball at it, so it's just like we've got a mirror. You've seen sort of like, one big one with potentially another one in the background, but
Area effect.
Oh god.
Yeah. Okay. So roll. What are we going to go for to try and deflect this or push him out of the way?
The athletics.
Athletics, yeah. Give me two athletics. So Durnian and Aldar.
Yeah.
Oh no. and give me one for Aldar, please.
You have no idea. Oh, it's athletics.
Ooh, okay. Aldar's like, "You fucking idiot!" and sort of charges over and hits you.
What?
Yeah, and sort of hits you off, and the fire, it knocks your concentration
We had
off.
a perfect shot at it.
Yeah,
What were you thinking?
It knocks your sort of concentration off, and you do you kind of set fire to the bar, and there's literally you've basically set fire to the inn.
I dropped the mirror and it smashed on the ground in shock.
Yeah. So
I run for the exit. The inn's on fire. Wait, no, sort of going
Save
fire.
the ale!
Save the.
Oh,
I was going to say innkeeper.
You-
Or the bar.
Yeah.
I'm
So
the wolf.
yeah.
Save the ale.
So you've basically set the bar on fire, and it's starting to spread. What you also hear this sort of like loud sort of hiss
Whoops.
My God.
Yeah,
We said fireball.
I'm taking the time to, as much as I can remember, sketch down what this thing was. So,
Okay,
like,
I'm going to grab an
gods-
ale barrel, smash it open, and start pouring it over the fire. Cheaping
No,
crickets.
no, don't. No. Alcohol is repellent.
No, not ale.
Yeah.
Ale's not. Ale's mostly water.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I'm
you start
not- yeah.
you start throwing the beer all over the thing, and you're throwing beer everywhere.
And I'm angry about it. It's a waste of ale.
Yeah.
Make him do this.
No, Periwinkle sort of comes in from the other rooms and says, "What?" He's like, "What, my mates? What are you doing?" You know, it's just like the fireworks aren't meant to. Yeah. It's like, oh, all
Fire
right.
in the disco.
Yeah. It's just like, all right, my mate, all right. Oh. And he sort of takes himself off into the other room. Surprisingly, though, the innkeeper doesn't appear.
We just leave little us in. Whoops.
Oh no! Can I check in on his room?
So you go in. Obviously, there's smoke and stuff everywhere. There's people running out of the inn. You know who's left. And you go into the room where the innkeeper is, and there's nobody there.
Oh.
So people, it's basically like body snatchers, isn't it?
Yeah.
Did he fill in his dream journal? That's the important thing.
Yeah.
That's what I was going for next.
No,
Just
now, you sort of, as you run in, you're like, you're not 100% sure who you're looking for. You're like,
I've still got the ring.
you've got a ring, but you don't. You've basically got that in your backpack. You've literally just had a fireball, and then you've gone run into the room, but you're going in there for a reason. But in your mind, you're not 100% sure why you're going in there. You're thinking, in your mind, you're sort of justifying it to yourself as you're trying to save people, get them out of there, and there's nobody in there, and you are like, oh, there's nobody in here.
And do we start to forget the barman as well?
Yeah, you're not aware of a barman.
But there's got to be someone in charge of a bar.
Yeah, so you're like, there must be somebody in here, but
This
you're
is
not
so
that person.
the mayor has gone as well. That's,
Yeah.
that's
Is
why.
this our bar?
Yeah, so
Also, this is what happens to the mayor. People can't decide on who the mayor is or where the mayor is. This was everyone's forgotten about. He's been gone the same way as the barman.
Okay.
that you're not sort of aware of in a barman. You're aware there could be a barman in the premises. But
Yeah.
you're not aware who he is.
But we are aware of the holes, and we are aware that the effect that these holes have when we kind of put a chair down there, people start to
I know, but I'm trying to
Right.
get it that you're aware of there's holes. You're aware there's strange things going on, but because you don't know
Right.
the barman, you're not aware of anybody
Okay.
disappearing. You're just looking for somebody who could be a barman that might be in the back.
Unless we find evidence that reminds us of him,
Yeah.
we've completely blanked on him.
Yeah.
Shit. Okay. Have I put the fire out yet?
Yeah, the fire's out. It's quite smoky. You've got some of the town watch and stuff are sort of out.
I start shouting, "Steel God, save the bar! Hooray for Steel God!"
I pour a drink for myself. Oh.
Okay, so some of the guys who you sort of recognize from the jail, they run. It's just like, what's going on here? What's going on? What happened?
You would not believe what happened. You would not believe it. But thanks to
start
Steel
talking
God,
quickly.
he saved the bar.
I'll start talking quickly about how we ran down the stairs because we smelt smoke. We took action because something had caught the bar on fire. Yeah.
Must have been a candle been
shit.
left behind. Must have been a candle or a lamp or something.
Crap.
Yeah, they're just
I
like,
Oh, if I'm helping at the same time about the lantern and the candle, does that give me advantage?
yeah, you're gonna have 12, so they're not really. They're like, so how did the fires? I don't understand. How did this fire start?
We don't know. We don't. We
Must
just
have been
came down and
yeah.
found it like this.
Wait a
What's
minute.
around
It seems they're sort of kind of going with this. Like, it seems to be where you boys sort of turn up that fires just spontaneously appear.
I resent that remark. This is
What?
the first.
We put it out.
Why would we burn down our own bar?
I know, but you know, when you were sort of in
It's
our
'cause I'm-
when you were in when you were in the jail, you know, there was a fire there as well. So, which we couldn't find anything. So, and they start looking at Athesta, and it's just like,
So,
is this
that wasn't a fire.
Is this witchcraft? Is this witchcraft? Is this a part of your? Is this a joke?
No, I examined this place quite thoroughly, and I can truly say this was absolutely a mundane. There's no magic to do with it whatsoever.
Do you want to roll?
Trust me,
Do you want
I'm
to
a
roll?
mage.
Do you want to roll deception?
Okay. Right. Okay.
Yeah, all right. They're just like, okay. They sort of look at the bar. They see like the scorch marks and stuff, and they're just like, so well, if it's not to do with you, how did the fire start?
Poor fire safety.
Per fire safety. All right, and it's just
Can't think of any other reason.
I mean, there's open flames everywhere.
Yeah.
There's like candles and lanterns and stuff.
Yeah. Okay, they
Health and safety nightmare.
Yeah, they buy into it, and the fact that you're soldiers and blah blah blah. They sort of go, okay, well, do you need any help? Do you need any help? Is everybody out?
Well, the fire's out.
The fire's out. We're going to open the windows, let the smoke out, but really, that's that, really.
Okay, so we'll go then. So they take themselves off.
Thank you. Good work, guys. Keep it up.
They take themselves off.
Oh god.
Man, that could have. Wow.
I can't believe you didn't let me fireball it.
You did fireball it. You just.
Oh, right.
I just give you a chance not to.
Commit suicide.
Yeah, pretty much.
you don't know,
I'm
though.
trying to how to sort of I was trying to think a way around it, but it was like if you hit that thing.
TPK.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
What a way to go.
Talk about sticking your neck out. Sorry, I couldn't resist.
Oh.
I was just more thinking about the session and the story and stuff, and I was like, if you all suddenly die now, it's gonna be so we've gone through these sessions and they die. It's like, okay,
No one remember us.
yeah, nobody. Yeah, it's nobody will remember you. I'll just have to delete. I'll delete them all off Facebook. And people are like, was there ever a group here? Okay, so what are you doing now? Are you staying in the night? Are you looking for people? What are you doing?
Fuck it, let's just go to bed.
Okay, then go to bed, and then we hit the books first thing in the morning. Have breakfast. Oh, who's going to make breakfast?
You're not
the
sure.
barkeeper.
You're guessing the barkeeper and the serving wench. So you take yourselves upstairs. You go into the room. It's a bit smoky. Is anybody keeping watch, or are you all just going to go to sleep?
I think keeping watch given the current circumstances.
I'll take first watch.
You take first watch, then Starbreeze, and then sorry,
So you're
then Kijo.
Okay, so you're all taking sort of
Taking a turn.
you're taking turns to sort of take a watch while you sleep. A couple of hours pass. Everybody's sort of asleep. Bar Steelguard, who's he's sort of like on watch. I want you to roll me a let me just check something here.
Roll me a D100 to see how many hit points you lose.
Oh my god.
I want you to roll me a. Let me just check something here before I do that. What's your? I'll give you an actually. I'm just going to roll a dice. Actually, no. I'm just going to roll a dice here.
Oh boy.
Okay. I want. What's your? I'll give you. You're basically being charmed So what would you sort of go? Would it be intelligence or wisdom?
A wisdom save.
Roll me a wisdom save then.
Oh, that's my worst thing.
Oh no, not you. You're all right. It's Steelguard who needs the roll.
No.
3.
Yeah. You basically start to sort of you hear like this amazing sort of like song. It's really sort of like really, it's making you feel quite relaxed. And you sort of start sort of walking. You sort of get up and you start walking out the room. The rest of yous, I want you to roll perception to see if you wake up and.
Jesus Christ.
Okay. Can somebody roll Aldar and okay, Kijo wakes up. Obviously, that forever sort of aware of his surroundings and sees Steelguard walking out the door. And Athesta sort of half asleep, but sort of realizes that somebody's walking out the door as well.
Fireball?
No, not yet.
Fireball seems to be getting you in a lot of trouble, gentlemen. I'm just saying.
We've used it once. It's a grand total of once. We had fake fireball and we had real fireball. It's.
So what are you doing? You got Athesta. Somebody needs to roll me Aldar as well. See if he's awake.
Okay, I'll get Aldar then. Okay. There you go.
He gets a 19, so he's awake as well. So it's basically just Durnian who's asleep.
Okay, you mean I gotta wake up Durnian and go.
Right,
we've got to move her. We've got to move her.
Okay, so you need to try and stop him then.
That's the thing.
Still God.
You could follow me.
You could have gone on
Yeah,
the
that's what
toilet
I just sort of like go. Do we want to wake him or do we want to follow him? Because
Yes,
I'm guessing this is exactly what happened to our Lieutenant Trowell. This is possibly what happened to Lieutenant Trowell, or something similar.
Aldar says to you that if we follow him, we may run into what his sort of got him. Do we want to do that at this moment in time?
Have you met this team?
Yeah. He's a bit sort of like, should we not just wake him up?
I think we're probably better off being careful at the moment because we don't know what we're facing.
I'm feeling as though this Aldar fellow's a wet blanket, to be honest.
He's just he's seen some shit and he's
a cock blocker, is what he is.
It's up to you. You're more than welcome to follow.
If you want fireball blocker.
If you want,
no, I'm not forgiving him for that.
If you want to follow him, it's fine.
I've got a fireball with that guy's name on it.
But I'm going to say he's quite adamant that you shouldn't follow. You should wake him up though. So he's going to try to if you don't.
Okay, then we'll wake.
Yeah, wake him up.
Wake him, give him a nudge.
You can if you don't want to, you can sort of just either persuade him not to, or hold him down, or it's up to yourselves. If you really want to follow him, then you can follow him.
Can we hear what he's hearing? Steelguard is hearing.
No, you can't hear anything.
Could I be humming it?
Yeah, you I suppose you're sort of like you're humming a song.
Do I recognize it?
No, you don't recognize it. It's sort of it's effectively the tune that's sort of playing in the background now. It's quite melodic. It's quite sort of it's quite warm. This is Steelguard's feeling sort of like it's all very nostalgic, and it feels to him like it's like one of the songs that was is sort of sang in the mead halls of his local city.
It's off to work we go, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's racist.
Dwarfist.
So yeah, and it's up to you. You can follow it for a bit if you want to. You can try and wake him up. It's up to you.
I think we wake him up and then see if Steelguard can still hear it, and then follow the sound where it goes, but much more cautiously.
Yeah.
But definitely, I don't think we wanted
Right.
you walking into something.
Okay, so someone wake up Steelguard
Yeah.
painlessly.
I mean,
Okay.
you'd have to be careful.
Okay, so you will need to sort of stop him. That you won't need to grab him or anything because he's just walking slowly off. So you'll be able to get him. It's just sort of being able to restrain him and wake him up.
Well, I'm just gonna try and sort of like non-lethally sort of like.
Slap him around the face. Do you want to roll me a? See, the thing is, he's got really high AC, so you're gonna
he does.
you're gonna hit him and miss. You're not gonna be able to do an unarmed hit because you're not gonna have any bonuses. You're gonna have to sort of try and stab him or something, or tackle him.
Okay, what magic missile?
I'm gonna restrain him.
Okay. Strength.
So is this
Yeah, so it's a strength against strength, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, it's an opposed.
Athletics or acrobatics?
You can choose acrobatics or athletics. I need to do athletics.
Actually, the cantrip I can do. Thunderclap. Right in his ear.
Son of a bitch.
Hang on.
Okay. Do you want to do thunderclap? What's that? What does that do?
Do you want to just check check what that does?
Oh.
You're rolling spells just without reading them.
Because I don't think that's a directed spell. I'm pretty sure that is an area effect.
That's an area effect.
Spell.
It's also a con save.
Oh god.
Okay, so. Okay, should everyone do a con save?
Yeah, everybody does a con save then.
Bloody hell, I'm going to be fine, gents. I've got a constitution of 19. I got 17.
Okay.
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm bugging.
Yeah. So he's thunderclapped. Does somebody run a roll for Aldar?
I'd say no. Let's say Aldar was behind.
Yeah.
We were dumb enough to be in front.
Yeah.
Just-
Okay.
Well, yeah, but did it wake you up?
Right. So, firstly,
Took no damage.
Yeah, but the sound is not
you
enough.
both need to sort of take damage first. So,
Oh god.
you need to roll damage on that.
Does Thunderclap knock
Yeah,
you back
it's
as well?
6.
Oh, 6 damage.
6 damage.
6 damage each then. So you take
This
6.
is a thunderous sound that can be heard up to 100 feet away.
Oh
I
my
think
god.
Everyone heard that.
Everyone's awake.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
We're
this is
seriously
gonna
getting a reputation around here, aren't we?
this is gonna be interesting. Okay. Okay. So
Thunderstorms.
you
Thunderstorms.
you take 6 damage each. So mark that on your sheets. You take 6 damage each. The floor below you collapses from the thunderclap, and you basically you fall into the bar. You basically fall into the bar onto a table. The three of yous just go ba-dumph, and I want some fall damage, please.
How high is the ceiling?
About 10 feet, probably. Is it,
Okay,
four,
that
is
is
it 3 of
fine.
us or 4 of us? Is it everyone?
No, it's the three of you. They're sort of behind. So it's like it's the thunderclap sort of like in a cone in front of you, isn't it?
I don't think it's a cone. I think
I think
it's...
it's area effect. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
All right, so you all fall then. So it's 6.
Sorry, guys.
Everybody takes 6 damage then, and so does somebody want to mark off
God.
6 damage? And or I'll note that you've got 6 damage off you each.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm absolutely fine.
Yeah. Okay.
I think you've woken up after the 6 damage of falling through the floor, though.
Oh my... Oh, the boom and the crash and then another crash.
Steelguard, you wait.
Yeah.
Of course I'm bloody awake. What are you doing?
The thunderclap has literally caused you. You've got tinnitus and you're effectively deaf.
What?
You're effectively deaf, but you start seeing. Like you see the hole,
holes and stuff.
you see the holes, you see like obviously the hole that you've fallen through, but you see the additional one that was effectively in your room. You see,
Is it completely clear?
you effectively see everything. You see blood. You see what is it looks like it's got the hole inn looks like it's riddled with like some big, smaller holes, some bigger ones. There's blood around the place. You see outside, when you look up, you see this giant serpentine that you see that face looking directly down into the hole where you guys are, and it's making sort of like hissing sounds.
We can't hear that.
And so you can't hear that, yeah. So it's sort of looking at you, and it's sort of like it's sort of looking at you, and it's sort of its mouth's open, and you see these big elongated sort of like fangs, at least really long sort of fangs coming out, and then you see like a load of people just come rushing into the bar, and they're all like, you just need to get out of here, you need to leave now, get out of this place, get out of our town, leave.
All
and
right,
they grab a hold of you.
Well, I mean, can try.
I think we made the impression, guys.
All right, we're going. I'm just looking.
So you've got some of the local militia, and you've got some of the town sort of city watch, and you've also got some random sort of like, you know, local people who have come in as well, and it's like they've all come in this one big group.
Are they angry at the noise, or are they just like...
They're angry. They're angry directly at you.
So they've been mind
Oh,
controlled.
shit. Of course, yeah, absolutely.
It knows we are a threat. We can see it. So basically, it's mind controlled some of the villages to remove us from the village.
Can I just ask, these necks that we can see, do they... Is there a body as well, or are they coming out of the ground?
They're coming out of the ground. But as far from what you can see at this moment in time, you can effectively see like these like huge sort of like necks, and they're sort of like swaying over the town. You can't hear. You've got ringing. The ringing starts to go. Now, as the ringing in your ears starts to go, the reality starts to fade back to what it was before. You're maybe a
cast the clap again.
You're
No.
maybe.
No.
You're maybe a bit more sort of aware of things now, though.
Draw this. Draw
Yeah,
this.
and
I'm gonna write on my arm, stuff up your ears. Like, deafen yourself. Block your ears. I'm gonna write that on my arm. Block your ears.
and you sort of basically the guard and stuff, and they says, look, you just need to go now. You need to get out of this town. You need to leave.
Question: do I see? You're right next to me, so I see you right there.
Yeah.
Are there candles nearby?
Yeah, there's candles in this.
Okay. Whilst the commotion is happening, I want to try and take some of the candles.
Okay, you're quite a skilled sort of rogue, so you just sort of swipe some candles from the nearby table, as the local militia, who are a bit sort of wary of you because they've obviously come into contact with you and stuff, but they're all like, you just need to go, you need to leave.
On what orders?
We just need you to leave.
Maybe it's best. Maybe it's best that we do. We don't want to start any problems. We don't want to kill any townsfolk, so maybe we should. We'll just head back past the Arrowwood forest, back to our home. No need to come with us. We'll leave.
They're just like, I think we should come with you.
guys. I mean, seriously. We understand you don't want us to. We've not really covered ourselves in glory, but I mean, I'm sure you've got better things to do than to be coming with us and walking us out all the way out past town limits, right?
I lean over to Festus and go, that thunderclap doesn't sound like a bad idea right now.
So I need you to sort of...
I will. Okay.
Yeah, Clayton sucks today.
They're basically going to escort you to the boundaries of the town.
Fine. No problems.
Okay, so... wow, this took a massive left turn, man. I just like... okay, so you...
Well, we'll tell them like where we are going. It's like our sort of like base is down past the Arrowhead Wood. It's down that way. It's off to the west. We'll go that way.
Right. Okay. So they escort you to basically to the boundary, sort of the edge of the map you've got there, and they go. You need to leave, but they won't go past a certain point. So they're just like So they seem to be sort of hovering around the edge of the wood, and they're like, right, okay, so you guys need to leave now.
Yeah, we just walk into the wood.
Yeah,
give them the V's and walk into the wood.
Okay. So you walk into the wood, and they sort of you hear them sort of kind of muttering, but they take themselves off. You sort of hear them going off back into town.
Okay, lads. So you all saw those necks, didn't you?
Yep.
Yeah.
And we only saw them when we was deaf.
Yep.
And something else struck me as well. Thesta, you saw that hole in the ground when that music was playing.
Yeah.
Maybe there's some kind of music being played by this creature that we can't hear with our normal senses, but it affects the brain nonetheless. Maybe if we block up our ears, we'll see what's real.
With this wax, so I pull every candle that I've nicked from.
Oh.
I just shake Kijo's hand. Kijo, coming through once again.
Thunderclap is a cantrip.
Kleptomania was once an issue.
Thunderclap is a cantrip.
Aye, but it's a little bit dangerous, Thesta.
Yeah,
I can keep casting this.
Yeah, but you're going to do damage to everybody's around you. Everybody's taking
us.
Except for me.
We're attracting people. We're trying to be stealthy at this point. We don't.
That's a good point. That's a very loud way of doing it.
Or. Actually,
Aldar grabs you and says, "You are not allowed to cast any more spells." And he's just like, "You are you," and he's getting annoyed because he's trying to sort out what's going on, and he thinks you're fucking things up, and he's getting really annoyed.
I'm just gonna take Aldar's hand off of Thesta. It's like, you should part ways with us now, Aldar. Thanks for all your help, lad, but you can just drop off.
Okay.
Credit was credit's due. We would not have known about most of what we now know if it weren't for that thunderclap.
He's just like,
that was a gold. Nice one.
Right. He's just like, so you're just going to let me go? And he's like, you're going to let me leave? He's just like, if that's what you want. And he's sort of like, lonely.
I mean, I know we've known each other for all of 4 hours, so we're best of friends here.
So lonely. And he puts in. Well, it's unless Darnan, you were about to say something.
Guys, I mean, at the moment we don't know what we're about to do. We just know that we're about to get into trouble. And do you want to just get rid of one of the members of the party that's potentially going to help us?
I think member of the party is a bit of a stretch. He's some random lad. Okay, fine. Aldar, you can stick around, but I don't want you touching any of my men. I don't want you saying shit to them. If we need something killing, you can kill it. Apart from that, you're just a pretty scenery.
He's he bristles a bit, but he recognizes that you're sort of sticking up for your men, so he's just like, my apologies for losing my temper. Obviously, my bear totem is still high in my mind at this moment in time.
Yeah, whatever.
Bloody
hell! Didn't ask for your life story, pal.
One thing we noticed is like moments of like extreme noise, such as during the Bard's performance early tonight. Now, if we can like in some way promote or extend this, like for example, there is a minor illusion cantrip which can cast a sound as loud as a scream for a range of 30 feet.
Well, maybe we should try the deaf. Tactic first, perhaps.
We're trying to avoid drawing attention here.
Aye.
Because they're going to come running and force us to leave.
Yeah,
so
but if we do that to more people, they will all see what's going on.
Why not?
We don't know that. That's the problem.
One way to find out.
maybe the longer that you're under this thing's influence, the less chance there is of you.
There is that. There is that, actually.
I just want to also point out they didn't want to leave the town boundaries, and when we were deaf, there was an awful lot of blood splashed around in that inn, as well as the holes in everything.
Mm-hmm.
So we should not be making assumptions at the moment about what we can and can't see, because we've already seen that we can't trust our eyes.
And second point is, how do we communicate when we have got wax in our ears?
That can.
Oh, you've got your battle sign, but you're going to have to be looking at each other.
Yeah.
You're going to have to be looking at each other to do that.
We can do that. I think going ahead from here, we should assume that the townsfolk are under the influence of this creature and not to be trusted.
Mm-hmm.
And one other thing occurs to me as well. You saw all those necks up there. Things with necks tend to have bodies. Maybe we find the body. Maybe we put an axe into its heart. Maybe we end this whole thing.
Or a fireball.
Hey, I like the way you're thinking. Fireball.
Okay, so
Well, I think the next object for us to do is camp up for tonight, wax in our ears, and then.
Well, maybe.
Do you want to put the wax in your ears now? Do you want to basically?
Yeah.
Hold on. Having the wax in the ears seemed to attract the attention of the creature and its townsfolk minions. Maybe we.
No, that was the thunderclap and the whole.
We didn't have any wax in our ears.
We were deaf though. Maybe being deaf made
the sounds carry.
We blew ourselves through the floor of the inn.
But
that might, and we also threw a fireball at it. Maybe that was enough.
Maybe so. All right, well, we can.
The thunderclap from inside the house.
Wow, this is amazing. Okay, so are you camping up? You're sleeping the rest of it?
I think also we would need to get in that library tomorrow morning, first thing. Disguise ourselves in like long cloaks and like just get there, read up, find out the history of this place, find out the local folklore and the local flora and fauna history.
Aye, we can use the tunnels, perhaps.
Yeah, because we have a back door now.
Aye.
You still don't have a map for the tunnels. You're going to be to try and figure your way out around these things.
But have you got a compass?
You've got like you kind of know the direction towards where the inn is. You can kind of trace that back again. But in the other directions, you're going to have to basically take a chance. Unless you've got a map, and you would have to go somewhere else to get that. So,
well, Kijo, next time we're down there, maybe you could draw a map as we're going. You could keep a map of where we're at.
Okay.
I mean, I'm assuming that's something that you're not bad at, being the scout and all. I don't know.
Okay. All right. So, what are you doing then?
Camp up for tonight.
Yeah. Who's having wax in their ears? The person on watch obviously shouldn't have wax in their ears, but everyone else, maybe.
I think that's something we should do in the morning.
Yeah, I think that.
I'm down with that.
And I think make a point of writing everything down now.
Can I suggest also a paired watch as well? Maybe one person with their ears blocked and one without.
Yes.
Genius, Danial. Yes. Absolutely genius.
Okay, so you take a paired watch. You take turns with the wax in the ears, and you basically see a scene of something you didn't even see on the front against the corruption. You see these sort of like giant necks, sort of with like you said, these humanoid type heads, but like with sunken eyes, sort of like swaying over the town. There's easily sort of like 4 or 5 of them. These massive heads, sort of swaying over the town. You can see it sort of kind of through the trees and stuff. You can see a few of them, and it's not an easy sleep for any of you. But you wake up the next day quite early, And where do you want to go from there?
Do we heal any hit points from?
Do you get hit points back while you rest?
Yep,
Yeah.
long rest gets you full hit points
Yeah,
and full
cool.
spells.
Cool. There you go. You're all rested.
There's
Okay.
fireball back.
Yay!
Oh, Jesus
3 more
Christ.
fireballs.
Amazing. So, shall we go into the tunnels and make our way through the tunnels to the library?
Sounds the safest option.
At the very least, we know where the inn was. We can make our way back then. And
Yeah, and
sneak
then
out.
basically. Like,
Okay. So you make your way back to the the camp. And you sort of go into the tunnels. You sort of go down. You've got sort of the tunnel that sort of kind of goes north. One that goes sort of like northeast. One sort of like goes east. One that goes southeast.
I'd like to wax my ears in the tunnels.
yeah,
All right. So
agreed.
you wax your ears. You will be at disadvantage if you get sort of ambushed or anything.
That's fine. Look at me.
Can I
Okay.
make a suggestion? If we're running in the same order as we were before, while we're in the tunnels, if I leave my ears unwaxed while the others do block their ears, if I do anything odd, they can restrain me. But if I hear something, then at least I can react to it better than they would do.
Good shout. You're our canary.
Okay.
I'll
Yes,
keep the
yeah.
clock standby.
Okay, so you get down the tunnels, and you sort of follow the path that was taking you towards the town hall, and you start. Right, I need you to roll survival then.
Who's this?
Olius.
Okay.
I'm just going to follow Kijo.
Kijo, yeah. Kijo and Athesta, you sort of you're pretty sure that, if, you're sort of you're making a mental note in your head and you're kind of going, right, well, your sort of inner compass is kind of telling you, says, well, the library is in this direction, so we should go sort of this way. So you take yourself off in that direction, and it takes you about sort of you take a few sort of wrong turns and stuff, but you sort of make your way back, and you end up here. Where are we? Oh, I'm going to put you in. Ignore. This isn't actually where you are. I'm just sort of, because I've got to do this.
Ah, we're back where we started.
That's where we're aiming, so that's a good thing.
Yep. And I need to turn off the. I need to turn off the thing. On this. Nope. Where are we? There we are. Dynamic light. Turn that off. Okay. Okay, so you're in a I've got this thing in the wrong sort of McDiffer, haven't I? This should be rejoin as player. I'm doing. I think it doesn't matter. Oh well. Okay, so you're in. You basically come up in a catacomb. Not a catacomb. Like a there's this tree in like a central courtyard, and there's basically there's like another hatch that comes up, and you come in, and you would be about wrong thing. You're about here, so you come up in there.
Oh, right, yeah.
So
Okay.
you come up, and it's like a little garden, and there's like some railings on the side and stuff, and you can see like the library building itself. So you managed to get yourself to the library.
Right, okay. This is my place. This is my home. Right, okay. I start doing investigation now. So,
Wait, you're not in the library at this moment in time.
Okay,
You're kind of
all right.
outside.
Let's crack the door open, have a quick peek inside, see if we can see anyone or I'm gonna have to take the. Well, what does it look like with the wax in?
Yeah.
When you put the wax in, the library seems, there's not a lot, because there's not a lot of people who are obviously in the libraries, but it's not. It doesn't seem to be as sort of down, sort of destroyed as some of the other buildings.
Okay, I'm gonna take my wax out of the ears and then just sort of like motion for everyone inside and just crack the door open, and have a look if anyone's inside.
You see a in the build. So whereabouts are you going in? Are you going in this door here?
Are these windows?
Those are doors there. There's windows here.
Shit.
Sorry, I mean like there. These
Oh no, these are
windows.
these are railings. These are railings.
And
So
the
you're,
door there leading into the library itself.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, you just
Yeah.
walk in. Really.
Yeah, so you go in and you see sort of a lady sitting here, studious looking lady with, reading a book. And she sort of looks up and sees you coming in. And she's like, what are you doing here?
We're here to research the flora and fauna from 1645 to 1647 by the orders of Lord Commander Sir Wilmot.
Okay. Roll me deception.
Nice.
Please.
So this always worked at university.
Yep. Okay.
Nice.
She's just like, oh, okay. If you need any help, let me know. We've got a nature section. We've got a good fiction section. We've got a history section. The mythology section is quite good as well. Just let me know if you need anything.
Thank you. And we'll walk straight over and start researching, looking at the local folklore and the kind of cultural crossovers between history, geography, and all that.
Okay. So what are you looking for specifically? So and you need just to sort of kind of let me know what you're looking for.
Okay, basically, Festus looking for any accounts of this thing in the past, or like any creatures that could ascribe.
Yeah,
To
local
these
folklore
occurrences.
kind of thing.
Exactly.
So you're going into like the mythology. And you're looking for okay.
And also, I go on upon my Festus' own background in magic. I look at it like, the mystical mystery, and like, okay, well, this could be creature. This one could be a combination of that one, and yeah.
Okay. Aldar goes off into the nature section. Anybody else go? Anybody going to different sections, or are you all sort of happy?
I'd like to stand near the doors to listen out if anyone's coming.
Okay.
So I can make them aware for.
What were the other sections?
You've got history, you've got fiction, you've got mythology, which I think Pete's going off to, nature, and history.
Fiction might be good.
I
folklore
imagine
and
that
fiction.
any kind of I imagine the folklore is being tackled in mythology section though.
So that's sort of, I suppose mythology and fiction's probably similar area and stuff. So yeah, okay.
Folklore, yeah. Okay, yeah.
So there was history and
Nature.
nature, which Starbreeze is covering, as I understand.
the nature's already being checked.
I want to check the history. I wanted to have a look at.
Oh, there's also, sorry, I forgot to say, there's also like a section which is like documents and like census details and things like that.
That one I'll check because I want to look for people that just drop off in the middle, like so people that aren't accounted for between censuses and things like that.
I
Good idea.
also sort of like if you're going to look specifically for that, I think I'd also just sort of like maybe interesting to check the orphanage details, see how many kids.
Yeah,
Sure. Yeah.
because they've lost parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we try that.
Okay.
And
And-
I'll go for history then.
So you're all on the door. Steel guards by the door. The rest of you are all off, sort of being bookish and having to read. You all sort of over the next couple of hours, next sort of 3 or 4 hours. You're going back and forth. Aldar and Athester sort of going up to the woman and kind of going, blah blah blah. What's this? Getting reference cards, looking up different authors and things. You've got this desk, and you've got like different books, and you're sort of looking at different things, sort of trying to compare them with each other, and you come up with the following, or something similar. Let me just give you this.
Fester's loving this.
I just realized. So yeah. Okay, so this should be seen on the thing. I wonder if... so, common wisdom holds that false hydras come from the ground. They spontaneously originate as undifferentiated masses of flesh, potatoes that sprout from no seed. Supposedly, they germinate in response to lies, and each falsehood causes a false hydra to swell larger. Scholars agree because they have no better idea. In fact, so much about these abominations boggles the mind that scholars really don't know where to begin. Paranoia dominates any discussion about it. Everyone wants to know, is it there? Is it by my town? Is it that long, flaccid-faced watching me through the window, even now? There are false alarms. Criminals and deserters have pleaded that they were merely under the influence of a false hydra, or they were merely trying to escape its influence, and sometimes that may be the truth. There are ghost towns in the grey wastes, victims of false hydras. People do not revisit these sites, or fear vengeful ghosts. Perhaps a false hydra is still there, black rot at the centre of the bone. In gentler lands, you will find skeptics. These erudite scholars will stroke their chin and calmly tell you that there is no such thing as a false hydra. In some confabulation, villages seized by some other infection, insanity perhaps, or maybe a subtle demon. But they are wrong. Now this is sort of like some of the folklore type stuff. So it's like in the fiction section, you've sort of got a story about a place called called Greyhaven, where you've basically got a story of a town effectively disappearing, all the inhabitants ceasing to be there anymore, and there's this ginormous crater where the town, the center of the town used to be, like it, just appeared one day, and none of the townsfolk were there anymore. Further sort of further details as you're looking through different books and you're sort of cross-referencing things. You sort of read a book on some more of the fiction section, surprisingly, but the false hydra enters a town through a humble enough method. Fattened on worms, it has been growing upwards the last few days, weeks, maybe even years. But they've only now broken through the soil. It emerges in a basement from behind jars of fruit preserves, or pushes its face up through the broken cobblestones and then it begins to sing. When it sings, it is ignored, just creates gaps in your attention, and it slips through them. It's subtler than invisibility and more reliable. At this point, the false hydra is only a torso, presumably, and same size of a man, buried somewhere in the ground. The neck grows up until it has emerged from the ground. The head only the size of a man's head at this point. It resembles a man's head too, but it's white, hairless, and with thick deformities, a brow and lips. The eyes are wet holes. But of course, none of this is noticed while it sings. The hydra exists in your blind spot. There's also another book, it looks like a sort of a nature book, but it's again in the fiction section. It says a rapacious and gluttonous monster, a hydra snatches and tears apart in a frenzy of feeding. When a hydra cleared territory of its food, it's driven off creatures smart enough to avoid it. It moves and seeks more meals elsewhere. A hydra's hunger is even so great that sometimes it might even feed upon itself, if no food source is available. And that's pretty much it.
Not encouraging.
Okay.
But how do we kill it?
So basically, what you've grasped from these books is when it sings. So it's you've noticed that it is now a lot bigger than it is massive. And when it sings, it effectively makes people ignore it and ignore what's around it. They basically it makes them rationalize other things instead of focusing on what it is. Its singing can also be, it's like a siren. It can sort of draw people in and make people sort of aware of, make it do its bidding effectively. You sort of note there's another book actually, and it sort of says that the Hydra is an agent of the corruption, and that it is the corruption's vanguard. A precursor to a larger sort of attack. A weakening of points, and they're massively intelligent creatures.
Okay, so we've got a vanguard attack by the corruption. It feeds and it unlies, and it obfuscates itself using the music it sings. But we know it can be temporarily deadened by our own music. So I say put on one big concert.
Sorry, I forgot about this bit. I've just missed this bit out. It says, the more the Hydra consumes, the stronger and larger it becomes. The more heads it grows, depending on how much it eats and how long it has been alive. Difference is how strong it can be. A young sort of false Hydra might be a walk in a park, but an adult one strike fear into most seasoned adventurers. You also sort of like Aldar. Sorry, he comes over. And he sort of notes, because he's been in the nature section, he's just like, if this is a Hydra, if it's anything like an actual Hydra, the only way we can kill it is by cutting off its heads. But every time you cut off its head, another is replaced by two or three more heads. You need
to find the body.
You need to basically cauterize those heads, or else you need to cauterize the heads, or it will grow more back. He also
second idea. It mentioned that it's stuck there. We could make it starve.
Yeah, well, you've got. He says that there's another book here that sort of, it's the eyewitness account allegedly of a villager from the Grey Havens. I think that's a Lord of the Rings name, but we'll call it Grey Havens. And it's he says that he was a miner, and he saw that within that his sort of where he used to mine, he saw its body, and he saw that there was like smaller heads that sort of kind of went into the body. They were still quite big, but they were effectively sort of, they seemed to direct towards its center, towards its heart.
So force it to eat itself.
No, it's like they're growing out of it. It's sort of kind of growing out of it. So it's basically got these super huge sort of like overseeing ones that have grown up, but it's also got smaller ones that are coming out of its sort of, effectively its chest.
Looking out for its body.
Yeah,
Right.
Looking out for its body.
So we find the body, we chop off these smaller heads, and we stab it in the heart. See my previous tactic.
Yep.
Fireball. Sounds good.
Fireball to the chest.
Fireball to the chest. Yeah. Okay. So obviously, you at this moment in time, you will need to you're not going to be able to see it unless you've got your wax in your ears, or you're looking through the mirror.
Okay.
Wax in the ears sounds fine to me.
Yeah. We can't go around holding a mirror because we get limited vision.
Yeah.
The wax in the ears.
Okay. Durnian, you were off in the documents section, weren't you?
Yeah.
Okay, so you come back and you've got like basically a census of, sort of historical census of the town, and you sort of look down and you say, look, Arabella, and insert innkeeper Arabella, sort of married to Piganart, Joseph Swell, and you notice he did have a wife. It's here in the census they were married. You also note that some of the captain of the watch, Josine, what was his other name? Let me see, what was his name? Josine Andre. He's from the Langley estate, but he was also a captain of the. He's also a captain of the militia. You sort of notice also some of the other people you've talked to and stuff that have vanished. Their names are in there as well. Yeah. It also there's another book. Sort of like there's like a reference card you find that is sort of like for maps, but it's been taken out by one of the clerks in the one of the town hall clerks.
Okay, so there's no map. So the maps themselves are gone on the reference card.
The maps themselves are gone. I understand it.
Do we need a map? Just if we head towards.
If it's a map of what I'm guessing, I am guessing that is the map of the caverns below the town.
Yes.
And it is basically the Force Hydra is hiding itself.
Yeah.
Hey, but if we just go to the tunnels and head towards where we know those heads are coming out, then just follow the next down to the body. It'd be easier.
It would be a lot easier with those maps.
Yeah,
that's true.
There's got to be a reason why it's trying to make it harder to find it. If it was a direct path, it wouldn't worry about it. So
my only problem is that it might be hard getting into the town hall now that we're enemies of the state. I'm just saying. Can anyone, any of you magic users, can you change your face or anything?
Actually, I could.
Hey, well, why don't you do that?
Minor illusion. So I just need to check the actual details, but minor illusion is a cantrip. So, image of an object within range that lasts for the duration.
It's an object, though. It's not a.
Okay.
It's not disguise self or something.
Silent image. An image of an object, a creature. A creature. So you could argue that, like, just my face.
Or a mask.
Or a mask.
That raises more questions there, probably.
But then, just like, create an image, like, a
By
creature.
the way,
my face.
I'm assuming because you're all talking to each other, and you're not. You haven't got the wax in your ears at this moment in time.
No, we took it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We are talking quietly.
I want you all to roll me a wisdom check, please. All of yous.
Wisdom save.
A wisdom save. Yeah, roll me wisdom. Yeah.
Oh, nailed it.
Wow.
Okay. Somebody roll for Aldar.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Okay, so Aldar and Durnian are sort of like they sort of shake their heads like something's sort of trying to get through. Kijo, Athesta, and Steelguard start walking towards the main doors of the library.
Am I humming again?
Yeah, you've all got that sort of like thing going on where you're just literally
Can I grab my loot and make it and just do the biggest discordant off chord that I can do?
In the library.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. I want you to roll a. Ooh, what will that be? Because it's trying to charm you, and you are trying to dispel said charm.
Would it be performance to do the loudest? And...
Yeah, performance. Yeah, all right, cool. So you basically get on top of one of the things and you just break out your loot and you just start sort of saying. Also, Aldar sort of starts singing in this very beautiful melodic sort of druish sort of voice along with it to sort of counter, and all three of you start sort of like shaking it off and going what happened?
Oh, I wax my ears again.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Right. We
Damn tired
speak. Yeah, we speak in warrior cant now.
Yeah.
Right. Soldier cant.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right. So you don't see anything. You don't hear anything, obviously, because you've got the wax in your ears now. The building doesn't seem to be there doesn't seem to be much in there. The librarian sort of looks up and goes, "Shh."
Sorry.
And she's like, "Oh my God, this isn't a rock concert. I expect that from Periwinkle, not from you." Oh. So she goes back to your book.
Can I motion for us to go back to the tree and down to the tunnels again?
Yep.
What about the maps?
It's not going to be safe outside. Well, we'll find a tunnel to the town hall.
Okay.
But we just want to make ourselves scarce again in case someone comes looking.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should use the tunnels to travel.
Okay.
Fact areas.
Okay, cool. Let me bring you back to
being enemies of the state.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you're back in the tunnels. So I just want you to roll me a survival then, I guess, again.
Yeah, I suck at survival.
Oh.
Yeah, Athesta knows kind of where he's going. Aldar's not 100% sure. Athesta's just like, look, this is the library. The town hall is literally due sort of, and Kijo agrees that it is due sort of northwest.
Yeah.
So you go in that direction again, and you make it towards the town hall. I'll not put the map up and stuff. I'll just explain. You come to the town hall again. It's just another sort of like another little like trapdoor that you sort of pop up in, and you're basically in another sort of like secret passage behind another bookcase, which you sort of slide through, and there's a few sort of like clerics and sort of admin people sort of running around the place, not really paying much attention. You're effectively in what is the town sort of what's the word, archives section. So they're not really that paying attention. People come in and out here all the time.
Didn't we know the clerk's name that we need, who had the map?
Yeah, so it's got a name for a clerk.
Yeah.
Just insert generic clerk name in there.
Clark. His name's Clark.
His name's Clark. Yeah, so you just say Clark. So that's it. So in you go.
Busy walking as if we know. Basically, we're here on a business. We know what we're here for, and we're looking for Clark's office.
Right. Are you now at this moment in time? Are you in full armor? Still,
I've not taken it off.
So you
don't wear armor.
Are walking around in armor.
Bear in mind, Stillguard is my bodyguard, and I am like a mage personage who has enemies and does require protection from his.
Okay, yeah, I'll buy into that. Roll me deception.
This is where it falls apart, isn't it?
Gonna drop a clanger, isn't he?
They're sort of one of the clerks. So you sort of it's not Clark, it's one of the clerks. So he sort of looks at. He's like, aren't you those boys who set fire?
No, we are not. Thank you very much. I'm looking for Form 215B, which Clark has, and I believe it is a discussion of some irregularities in regards to subsection C of paragraph 5.
He's like, I don't believe you. He's just like, I'm just gonna get somebody.
I'm gonna grab him and fucking just shout in his face, "Tell me where Clark is!"
All right, roll me intimidation, then I'll give you an advantage on it as well.
Oh, fantastic!
Come on.
Yeah.
Oh, advantage. Oh, 12.
Yeah, yeah. He's just a lowly clerk, and he's not really that. He's quite easily swayed, so he's just like, okay, just don't hurt me. Yeah, his office is around the corner, is just down the corridor on your left hand side there. Don't hurt me.
And I was pushing away. Don't change your trousers, lad. Off we go.
So you're just letting him go?
I mean, what else? Kill it? Throw him in the hole?
And as soon as he turns around, I'm gonna smack him on the back of the head and knock him out.
Okay. Do you want to roll me a unarmed attack, or an attack with your weapon then?
Yeah, using the butt of my sword. This will be fun.
Does he get advantage because his back's turned?
Yeah, you give you advantage.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Boosh.
So you literally, it's like, all right, okay, thanks. And he starts to run out, and you literally just go plunk, and he just goes bump straight down.
Take the body behind the bookcase.
Yeah.
Closed.
Standard stealth game. You hide the body behind a bookcase.
Are there any keys on it?
I come out in the clerk's garbs.
Nice.
Yeah.
Are there any keys in the pockets?
He's got nothing on them. Just
Okay.
he's just
I'm
box
just
standard clerk. So he surprisingly was the same size clothes as Kijun.
Oh, wow.
Magic.
Who'd have thought?
Yeah. Okay. So what are you doing then? Are you sending Kijun out on his own? Are you going with him?
We'll go, but Kijo will go ahead and make sure the coast is clear.
Yeah.
Okay. So thing itself.
Well, should we call it a day once we're back on again?
Yeah, we'll call it a day on that.
And wrap up.
God, yeah. Oops, 20 past 11.
Right,
So
yes. Okay. So, yeah, well, that was quite a good... It was obviously fate telling us to move on and stuff, but yes.
Ding, ding, ding. Time, gentlemen, please.
I don't have to stitch too much together, which is good. So, yes, thank you very much to everybody who has joined us. And if you're watching this... We've got more people watching. Just people coming on to watch this now, just as we're about to leave. Just about to go. Sorry, we had a malfunction and it disconnected and reconnected. But yeah. So yes, for the next session, you are wandering around the town hall trying to find some maps, and we're aware of what our foe is now. You're very aware of what our foe is now. So. Until next time, I've been Matt Geary, your GM. With me has been Daniel Delargue as Kiju, Ben Fee as Tharad Steelguard,
Good night, everyone.
Peter Ray Allison as Athesta Tamble,
Take care.
Mark Canty as Daeneryn Leabella.
Oh my God, we're alive. We're still alive.
Yeah, I'm just telling you, man. If you had missed that fireball. If you hadn't missed that fireball, I would have just killed you. Because there was
gone down fighting.
There was no way out of it because it was just like they're too big to sort of justify that. So I was just like, yeah. You're gonna have to die. I couldn't think of any other reason to sort of get you out of it. It's just like.
But we did agree. The next time we see it, we either shout fireball or cast fireball, and then
there was meant to be shout. There was meant to be shout fireball, but not just cast fire.
We said shout or cast, depending who sees.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the hair trigger was the one that saw it.
Yeah. Yes. So that's it, gentlemen. That was very, very interesting. I had to do some serious thinking on my feet there.
That seems to be your motto, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's just. Yeah. Okay. Well. But yeah. Oh, we got loads of people watching now. It's all come on late, and he's. Okay. Anyway, everybody's watching.
Watch it all, guys.
Yeah.
You're gonna enjoy it.
Watch the other sessions. We are gonna have to go now. But thank you very much for watching. Thanks for everybody, and we'll see you next week.